Hey, what up, man? You hear me? Hey, what's up? Let me look at your video here real quick. What the fuck am... Yeah, what am I looking at here? Hey, right on. Now, let me mute this real quick. You changed it to a robot character and shit? Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's the thing, even with the base default platforming puppet anyway, like, there's something off with it, like when you go to use the mirror and stuff, like, and you try to mirror, like, your joint movement and stuff, even simple things like that, it's like, what the hell's going on here? And then you gotta toggle off mirror and shit. It's not quite as, yeah, even the basic puppet and stuff, like the basic, like, lanky original puppet, like, it's got, like, that crooked shoulder and stuff, you know, like, that started annoying me right away. You know, I was like, why is one shoulder different? You know what I mean? Anyway, come join Fall Guys. You ready to join it? Oh, you're already in here. Nice. Let me see if anyone else can get on here. Yeah, take your time, man. Find a costume or something. How am I looking at here? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just barely play it every now and then, and since it went free or PS5 came out or something, I was like, I'll try it again, you know. And I've been playing it with people, so it's been pretty fun, you know. How the hell do I invite people in here? You're already in my game, you know. There we go. We're into a game. Stream for a little while. You're having a fucking abortion and shit. Yeah, Roe versus Wade, man. Like fucking. I was thinking like if Dreams ever gets fucking multiplayer, that'd be a perfect fucking way. A perfect fucking multiplayer game would be Roe versus Wade and shit, you know? I don't know what it'd be about, but it'd be funny, you know? Just the name. Well, what you been up to, man? Hey, what's up, yo, Vork? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine, like, the house is a lot of responsibility and shit. You know, I just live in, like, apartments and stuff, you know? Yeah, it's what the neighbor lady's complaining about right now and stuff, you know? She's, trying to get him to turn the water on for the summer season and stuff. I don't care if it turns into a desert. Yo, Vork, I'm streaming right now because I'm trying to see if I can get people to come play with us, you know? But my boy Yo Vork here said, like, he can't hear you, but it's up to you if, like, you don't want to be heard or not, you know? It's probably some privacy setting somewhere. You said you're on like a dev kit or something, so I don't know. It might be totally different. Don't try to figure it out right now. Yeah, we'll figure it out when we get a break. Shit, I'm starting. I had a little bit to drink earlier, so like we probably won't do too well this round. If my boy dtoliet and Yovork hop in or something, like, we'll start doing pretty good. You know Yovork? You know his name? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a sculptor and an artist in Dreams and stuff. Makes some other stuff, too. One of the community people, you know? Yeah. I think when I hopped into it, it looked a little bit sharper. You know, like just that. Just. Yeah. You know, but. Yeah. One thing about it is the file size is smaller because they got that chip they call the Kraken that helps with like compressing file sizes and unpacking them like faster with the SSD and all that. That's one benefit of it. But the only time I tried it, like I had trouble like joining people that weren't on the PS5 version. But then other people I could join, it just kind of depended, you know. Join if you want, Yovork. Let me see if I can find Yovork on here. Here we go. Ah, you can't stay. You suck. You should come play. Yeah, it's like water basically. Water and gravity. You just like jump up and float. It'll figure stuff out. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. 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 Yeah, it really is. That's the first. Yeah, I remember when it first came out, I was like, this is basically just like Steve Big Gun's toggle, like 3D tech and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, ah, shit, you know? Yeah. Ah, whatever, no worries. If I can get to the end, like, we should be alright. Whoa! Here we go. No worries. It happens. Hey, here's DT. Stumble Fellows, great. You played. I played Stumble Fellows too when I hopped on dtoliet. I'm just talking to my chat real quick, you know. dtoliet's another dreamer too that makes some cool stuff. He makes some really cool like character sculpts and things like that, and like dioramas and stuff. But he's good at Fall Guys. He'll carry us if he hops in. And Yovork's working on some like Fall Guys. He's calling it a Fall Guys knockoff, but it'll probably end up not being a knockoff. But yeah, I remember when this game first came out, man, I was like, this is just Steve Big Guns' 3D toggle tech, you know? And this is basically toggle, like 100%. Then I remember you asking me, like, what did I think of Fall Guys when it first came out? And I was like, I don't know, I played it for like 10 minutes and then deleted it. Because I was just like... But once I tried it with some friends and stuff, I was like, you know what, this is actually an alright game. It's pretty fun. I see why people hooked onto it, you know? Almost. We might be able to get through. I don't know if we qualified or not. Yeah, that is the company, isn't it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Shit, I'm sure you come up with some crazy shit. Like, I mean, that's really where you started, was like level design, you know? Yeah, That's true. Me too, man. Like on LBP, like game level design wasn't really my knack. I mean, I could level design, but it was more coming up with game concepts, you know, and trying to make those work. Yeah. Right, just assembly. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. That's what people say that told me right away that the thing with Fall Guys is like the players are the obstacles really, you know, and the level design is like secondary. But yeah, same thing, man. Like level design really it's like something you could get done in like a week or a few days or something, you know, and then the rest of it is just testing to see how players run it, you know. But yeah, I feel you, man. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. Everything's Mario, really, at the end of the day, you know? Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how that is, like, how big this game is, like, even though really at the end of the day it's just platforming, but they hit like a formula. It's the multiplayer, man. It's the multiplayer that does it, you know? And I've noticed, like, especially lately when I'm playing it, like, sometimes I don't even have to be looking at the screen. I can just be looking at like my phone or looking at Twitch or something while I'm playing it, and somehow I can squeak through the level and still win, you know? Yeah, for sure. You press R2 to grab, but I think you can set it to be automatic grabs. I wish we could slap like LBP, man. That would be one thing that would make the game better. Like while you're waiting for other people to finish the level, you get to the end zone there, slap people. That'd be fun. Yeah, I always want that in everything. Yeah, I actually. Yeah. Yeah. I do have your toggle text saved on my moon somewhere still, because I checked it out when you put it out, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Was it you that made the top-down stuff in LBP3's story mode? Yeah, I figured. Once. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I figured once I saw it because I remembered you'd already made some top-down stuff in LBP2. It was something like you, Kappa, X, and like a bunch of other people got like picked up to do some stuff for MM. Yeah. Jetpack sounds pretty fun. Ah, damn it. It got me. Get back. Where are you, man? Come back, come back. There you go. That's not them. Ah, these chase ones really get me. Could be, man. I'm not sure, man. It doesn't sound familiar. I might have missed it somehow. Like, I knew most of your stuff. But was it in LBP3 or LBP2? If it was in 3, it was hard to keep up on stuff in 3 because I mean, you know how like the servers and everything just didn't work as well because of the cross platform stuff and all that. You know, like we were playing it again recently. I hopped in with some of the Dreamer community and stuff, and we played some multiplayer on there. And we tried to play some stuff like mini golf and this Ghost Mansion board game that I remembered. It's a lot of fun stuff, you know. Hey, what's up, Okitsu? How you doing? Hey, we're in the final round. I might have played it. It's hard to remember though. Yeah, you should, man. Yeah, they did, man. Shit, I'm telling you, man. All the years playing LBP, I was like, I'd always see like indie games and stuff come out. Like I was like, this stuff, I saw this in LBP already. Like, oh shit, I got sucked in. All right, you're on your own, man. We're about to get eliminated. Even Limbo, man. I remember seeing the black silhouette style in LBP before Limbo came out. In LBP 1. Yeah, exactly, unfinished swan, shooting the paintballs everywhere to see where you're going. Yeah. 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 Even Dreams is like that nowadays, man. Like, it's just basically just like a testing ground to see like what people might like or what might catch on and what might not, you know? It's cool. And then you see like somebody do something and then another creator does like a more professional version of that same thing. And then maybe some developer will do like the full professional version of something like that, you know? Doing alright, Okitsu? How you doing? Yeah, go ahead and take a look, man. I'm gonna grab a drink of water real quick. See if you can figure it. Could be under privacy settings or something. Allow or sharing and broadcast or something. That might enable it. Yeah, maybe. I forget it. Somewhere in there. I remember we played GTA 5 and then I went and watched the VOD. I should have checked it while we were playing, but I didn't think of it. Yeah, there's D. Shit, I don't know. Let me look on Google real quick. Google. I was about to search Google on Google. PS5, broadcast, Twitch, party chat. Let me check you. There's dtoliet. I don't know, man. It's up to you, man. Like, if you feel like messing with it more or not, you know. You know. If you don't want to be on, either way, like if you can't figure it out, it's fine. We can just keep playing, you know. It's just somebody asked, like, so I was like, I'd tell you. Yeah, figure it out another time. Yeah, I don't know, dtoliet. We're doing three player solos. Probably. Let me check that real quick, make sure. Make sure. I'm pretty sure I have before. Let's see. Yeah, I have. It's under broadcast, captions and broadcasts, audio, include voice chat audio for me anyway. But I don't know. Yeah, mine's enabled.
Does it work now?
I don't know. Do you guys hear Steve or anything? Anybody?
I don't know.
Oh shit, do I have my... Let me mute my mic and then unmute the chat. Yeah, you guys can hear Steve? Nice. Alright.
A pretty mouth.
There we go. Shit, Steve got a pretty mouth.
You got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, you got a pretty mouth, boy.
Got a pretty mouth, boy.
Alright, let's go. That's not how Steve actually sounds. That's how I sound. Alright. Yeah, now we're good to go. Shit, now we can play whatever.
Nope. Ready up. Turn my laptop screen down. I always have I'm just using my work desk, so I have the laptop in front. It's always just taking up the bottom of the TV, so I can't see anything in the bottom.
Yeah, I feel you. I remember you got some, like, you told me you got some crazy entertainment center or something, like, not too long before you got the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the, like, massive, like, TV unit. Well, I haven't been using that. I've been using my work one.
Yeah.
I got, like, one of the desks that you can, like, move up and down, and then the TV... It's only a 43-inch one, but it's, like, connected to an arm, so it's, like, you're sitting quite close anyway, so it's kind of...
Right.
It doesn't really matter how big a TV is if you're sitting right next to it.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually, like I always want to upgrade. I know we were always talking about TVs and OLEDs and all that stuff, you know. But eventually, I want to try and get a really nice monitor. That's what I want to get instead of a TV, you know.
I am just using a TV as a monitor, kind of. So I
Yeah,
use my laptop as a smaller screen, and then I got the HDMI right next to it. So if I want a dual output, I can like stick that in, and then it goes up on the TV
yeah,
right behind it. It's like the Ergotron arm, so it's like the biggest TV it can handle is like something like about a 48 inch, I think.
nice,
It's like it can handle 20 kilogram TVs. It's like
nice.
the strongest desk mounted arm. 43 inch Sony only takes like about 9 kilograms anyway. So ah,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
but how you dive in this game?
Square.
Oh, I'm already in last place. I just dived into a wall trying to figure out where the button was.
Yeah. I tried one of those 48-inch LG OLEDs for myself one year. I ended up. I really loved the detail and everything on it, but the motion was driving me nuts when I was watching movies. It was great for games, but not for movies, you know?
It's just jarring. It's too stuttery.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's like smearing. At least it smears, but you don't notice it. You kind of it's just kind of feels more natural.
Yeah.
The OLED's better though in terms of
Pretty much everything else except for
everything else. Yeah,
Yeah.
like the black color. It's not like the blacks just kind of look about the same, but it's the way it doesn't bleed through light on whites. So if you have a white, it kind of glows on everything on LCD, and it has the screen lights around it. You know, the backlight zone, so it looks like when you have a uniform color, it kind of looks like a mess since it's all different tones, and it's like darker on the edges. And
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I should have just gotten used to it, man. I don't know why I returned it. It's just because I spent money. You know how it is when you spend money and you're just like, I shouldn't have got this. So then as soon as you find a reason to return it, you're like, I'm returning it. You know what I mean?
I think I kind of liked it, but I think it's just the motion and everything just stood out to me as like, it's okay in 60 frames a second, but I still notice it on those games.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, man. Any kind of judder or stutter or anything, you start noticing stuff more.
Yeah.
If you're sensitive to any of that kind of stuff, like you're gonna notice it, you know. This one, you're just collecting these bubbles, man.
It's level design, so shit. I think that the issue is you don't interact with each other in a nice way. It's not like Mario Kart where you have all the shells and if you do something like that where you can pick up things and you can throw them and you get bombs and you get
For sure, man.
interaction on it. It's like it's probably just limited by it shouldn't be limited by what they can do. You can do it in Mario Kart. You can just make it work.
Yeah.
If they can't make it work, then they got a game like this and they're just shit.
Yeah, and my instinct like I was about to say like, oh, that might be too complicated for the player, but then I was like, no. Then I was like, no, wait a minute. Mario Kart is like super popular. It's like one of the most popular things out there. So you can add.
They should be able to. Like, doing online stuff's fiddly as hell. Like it's trying to get stuff to sync up, and so what everyone's seeing is the same. It's a massive ball ache, and it's quite limited. Like we have to change your design sometimes to be around what you can actually achieve.
Right, exactly.
To sync up in time. Like, you're not going to make a big physics game and sync up physics unless you make it really laggy.
Yeah. That's like that new game from the studio that made Until Dawn and Man of Medan trilogy. They just put out that Quarry game. And I just had read that was actually originally supposed to be a Google Stadia game, originally before all the Stadia stuff got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But that's exactly what I was thinking when streaming stuff like Stadia started coming along. I was like, you're going to have to make games that lend themselves well to this kind of input lag. You can't be making like Street Fighter and fucking Call of Duty for it.
You have to kind of limit the games you put out on it. It's like you can never have those types. You can have those types of games to kind of try them and then download the version. That's kind of
Right.
what I do on PlayStation now. I go, oh, what's this game like? I'll just quickly test it, and then if it's good, I'll actually download it and play it properly, because I'm not going to play it
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah. That is something
It
they're
doesn't
trying
look
to do
very
now
good even.
with like their free demos and things, you know?
Yeah, it's just a quick way to save the time of just quickly demoing stuff. That's why I think the main use for it. It's going to be so long until we get decent internet speed to actually run it. I can't see the input. Like, you always want the minimum amount of input latency. I don't see it ever working. Like, you always like even input latency in a normal game. Like, if you could half it, I'd rather have that. Like, I want the minimum amount.
Yeah, exactly, man. You know, and
I
that's
don't
the
want
thing.
any limitation on it.
Yeah.
No compromises at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll always prefer local hardware, like. But then part of me is just like maybe my life would be better if I was just totally minimalist and all I was doing was like streaming stuff, you know. But who knows?
Oh,
I think it'll catch on eventually. They just gotta find their audience for like. You can't be trying to get like the type of dude that wants to play Doom Eternal. You know what I mean? You can't be trying to target those kind of gamers. You got to target like a totally different audience. You know? What's up, Blue Chuck? How you doing, man?
come on. Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just can't get the top.
Going
I wish the
forward, man.
controls felt a bit better. And they're a bit too sluggish. Like, I don't know why. You can still have a game like this with good controls. You don't need to make it as bumbling.
Yeah. Ah, no, I died. It's because you're straight.
They kind of a lot of games like you have like shitty controls, and there's kind of some fun in that kind of control. Like
We got eliminated.
what
the hell?
at the end.
I never get eliminated from this one. I haven't been having good luck on here today, man. That's all right. We'll hop back into another match. Damn, you stayed in. Or is that just D that stayed in?
I thought I died.
Wait. So we got eliminated from dtoliet's thing? Oh, this is what dtoliet was talking about. How do I, like, fucking tell dtoliet, like... dtoliet, what am I doing wrong, man? Am I supposed to set the game mode to, like, team play? So that we stay with you? Okay. Alright, let's back out. Press the circle button to exit. And then dtoliet said I gotta change the squad show. I don't think I've ever led, like, a party like this before. I usually just join people. Man, I gotta get some costumes, man. I wish I'd been playing from the start, because everybody's got, like, cool costumes. Alright, so... Do I do...
I just got the free one.
Squads show, that's what we gotta do. There we go.
I just got a load of free costumes here.
I got a few of those, like the one that you got on. Let's see what I got. I got this one. I think I saw Danny wearing that one the other day. Managed to unlock it. Oh, I gotta unselect solo. Let me make sure I do that. Heck out. Square. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Alright. Alright, now I'll ready up then. Shit, we would have got through otherwise. dtoliet's a tiny diorama here that we're playing with. Like, he's a good-ass player, man. Like, I can keep up with him pretty well, but, like, he's a really good player. Like, in general. He usually plays, like, the high-score awards things for Dreams. And dominates it.
I wonder if anyone's going to actually use the platforming thing I made, the better version. Mostly the techniques that I used are more standard game techniques, but I think it's quite. It's not too hard to work with, but.
Nah. I know Yovork said, I don't know if he's still in the chat here, but he said what he learned from looking at it was that used keyframes to toggle the slidey feet off to keep the feet in check. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it's like stuff like that, like using skatiness on the.
Skatiness,
Just
that's
because
what it was.
it really annoys me the way they take so long to go back. It just feels like you want every movement to feel quite responsive with your actions, not you press a button, release it, and then it takes 3 seconds to settle.
Yeah.
That's the kind of feeling of like latency, and the people call it like floatiness when if you have a camera that you press left and right and it carries on the inertia. That's kind of the idea of floatiness. It's movement carrying on when you released it. When you released it, normally in like Mario, it just goes boom, it puts his foot on the ground and does like a fast stop animation, and he just stops dead on the spot. He doesn't slide, he doesn't move, he just stops. He has no deceleration whatsoever.
Yeah, people should definitely check it out. I know what you mean, man. Like, it can even be like just a visual thing, like even if it's not actually like delayed, like if you've still got the instant responsiveness, but if visually it seems like something is delayed, people will feel like it's delayed, and then they'll start saying things like, this feels floaty,
Yeah, it's like even when you run, you have the arms, like they slowly go up as you get faster. That always feels unresponsive, where games like Mario, you press a button, even though you're at your lower speed, his fastest run is actually when he's not moving. His feet and his hands like pump really fast when you're not actually doing anything.
Right,
so it gives a sense of it's like super responsive, even though he's got quite a slow acceleration curve in the movement. There's like lots of feedback on everything. You just have to get the feedback right, pretty much. The animation, and it just doesn't do it by default, so it's just hacking it to.
I noticed that, man, like in one of the first puppets you did, that backpack kid, like, I don't know what the hell it is, but like the way that it lands and like that backpack like shifts with the weight or something, like it's like it just has this feel of weightiness to it. I'm like, how the fuck did he do that? And I know all the logic's there to do it, but it's just like, it's really impressive, like. But that kind of stuff was more advanced, like it's harder for people to use. There are creators that can use it, but I think this new puppet you got out is one that people can like wrap their minds around,
Yeah, that's the best way I found to do it. You have to. Oh shit! I didn't press I'm ready.
Yeah, should have told you.
I always forget to do that. And when you better UI, in Call of Duty, it just does it. So it's like, I think best way I found is just use smoothing and put the deceleration up, and just use smoothing for the movement, and you get like, because if you turn deceleration up and you don't have smoothing, it just feels twitchy and kind of crap when you're moving around. And
right.
If you have the smoothing, it just kind of feels more. That's how it. Normal game controllers, it just has like no deceleration and smoothing on it.
Right.
Normally, when you come to a stop, it just has an animation. The deceleration idea is just an animation of coming to a stop. It's normally a fixed animation. Normally it like overshoots and then steps back or something, or it does something, or sometimes it does skid, but then that's just a fixed movement. It's not a deceleration based on speed or anything. So.
Right, exactly.
Or it's just like, a lot of games, like more advanced games like Assassin's Creed, that style of, like Naughty Dog games where the deceleration's just, when you're stepping, it just wants to finish on a good foot, so it does an extra step or something. It's an animation-based ending where it applies an animation to come to a halt rather than, and the animation drives the movement rather than the movement driving the animation.
Right, exactly.
Kind of. People don't really realize that, and they just think it's deceleration, and then they just put the movement deceleration on, which it's only about making the animation look good, pretty much. That's the only reason it's there.
That's true too, because like I remember watching people do like sculpting tutorials and stuff, and talking about like defining your character just by the look of it before you even start working on it, and animation could be part of that, like let the animation kind of decide what your mechanical feel might end up being,
Yeah, that's normally the best thing if you want you have to get the animation in to figure out, or else it won't even make sense about what it actually is.
Yep, exactly. Nice. Got to the end. Now we're in squads. second.
Yeah.
Close enough. They get harder. I know, me and D have gotten quite a few crowns in this, you know, in recent days. Been playing a lot. I don't do too well on my own, but I get kind of far sometimes.
You could make this game in Dreams if you had one.
For sure. Yeah, exactly.
I think you could do better level design quite easily. The level design's a bit...
Yeah,
I haven't really seen many good... The only one I really like is... I haven't played the latest ones, but the Hexagon one where the hexagons just fall down. Which is insanely simple. That's just... like, you know, it's just like... made something like that in the...
Yeah, this kind of stuff.
The hammer thing.
This kind of stuff is more like level editor kind of stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where you just get some make your assets, make your modular stuff, and just connect them in pieces, you know? Like that'd take like, you could make something like this in an hour for sure, you know?
The art's got a bit better in this now, yeah.
Yeah. Well, shit, if we ever get that multiplayer, you know? I know playing that shit with dtoliet and Yovorik and Cheeky and whoever the hell I was playing with. Killer Kiff. I think Frank hopped in too. We were having a great time. It's just the servers are so shitty on LBP3, we couldn't enjoy ourselves. Yeah. But I was like, fuck, man, if we just add this on Dreams, like we've been playing it like 20, I guarantee you, like somebody would be streaming it like almost like 24 hours a day, you know?
The way LVP works as well, like I think it's the way it syncs everything up. It kind of makes it feel latent, like latency on it, because it's trying to. It slows down the game to sync everyone up with the physics, rather than like most games. It doesn't actually use the physics, where as soon as you do things like physics, it comes.
There's something too with like how long all the levels take to load. I remember when, I don't know, it was a few years ago, I was reading something to do with either LBP or Dreams, and they were talking about like, not the mistakes that they made in LBP, but it must have been Alex or somebody talking about it, but they were talking about what they learned from doing LBP and how the levels were cached, you know what I mean? Like, that's what made everything take so long to load, and like that they wouldn't have to do that nowadays.
Yeah, and used to get. I think it was the physics where the physics would try to predict on one person's screen and then on the other, and they would sink through the ground.
Yeah.
I remember making like a multiplayer. I think it's like a multiplayer racer or something.
Right.
Which is working really well in single player. Why? Yeah, we got online. Let's get online, and it's just like the other player was jittering around and falling through the screen, and it's like, oh, it just looks like a mess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was one thing with LBP as well. Like shit would just totally break once it goes online, even though it's like totally perfect offline, you know. Because of how extreme.
Is great.
Yeah, because the latency was so extreme and the lag and the connections and shit, it was out of control. 3 was just totally fucked, man. Like, just online wise, something just got. I don't know if the PS3 version was as bad. I only started on the PS4 with that straight away, you know, so I never got to see if it played any different on PS3.
I think it's
version.
like Sumo modified the code, but they probably just made it worse overall.
Yeah.
So I think like stuff like to get the layers working, they obviously optimize stuff like, you know, the water and things like that. I'm not getting any of it. I'm going over the episode.
Yeah, that was it too. Like all the legacy code, and like the layers were never meant to really be there. Like I remember me and Jaden like figuring out how to get stuff into the background layers in LBP1 and the co-create beta, and any of those kind of glitches that you use now, like those were the levels that always break when you bring them into LBP3, you know.
I'm not getting any bubbles in this one. I don't know where they are.
Wait, here we go. I know, I was just walking around talking.
Oh shit. Oh, I got one. I can't see where they are. There's some over there. Yep. not really many bubbles, so is there a limited amount of them, or they respawn or something?
They just, once you start to get most of them in one spot, like they move to another spot.
I'm just going to the spot where there's none.
We almost got
I remember when they optimized the water and... Oh, I got one.
Nice.
Yeah, when they optimized the water in LGP, I thought it was going to like do something good, like clever in code so it looked the same, but it's pretty much just I'm going to optimize it. I'm going to take all the current graphical features and just delete the code.
Right.
It's like just turn them off.
That's
It's
crazy.
like, you know, turn all the way the I don't know, like turn reflections off, turn, you know, the way it had ripples and the amount of water particles that get sprayed up, and it's just like turn it all down.
Yeah. That was one thing with LBP 1 and 2. Like, they seemed like something that was like, those games were like 100% PS3. You know, like physics-wise and rendering tech-wise. Like, everything about them was just like 100% PS3. And that was probably like a big problem with LBP 3. Was just like trying to, like, how the hell did we carry this forward, this engine, you know, like...
Yeah.
And with all the community content and everything, it was just... That was a lot to deal with, I'm sure, you know.
You just redone it again.
Yeah, I'm sure. Alright. Just gotta run until it starts getting dicey out here.
These are the best though. It's just like
Just running.
it's obviously the simplest one, but it's because you're actually interacting with each other, and well, it's not in a doing this stuff online is quite simple. It's like one asset as well. So oh shit, I'm dead.
Yeah, me too. dtoliet is still alive though. He'll carry us. Pretty much every crown I've gotten in the last week is most of them have been
Oh,
dtoliet.
I forgot you can
alive.
die. I would have made it if I could die.
Just got a trophy. Go
Yeah. Like that, this type of like, interaction is probably the best. Like nothing else, you don't really feel like you're interacting with each other. At least that one, you're. Well, it's not direct; it's kind of indirect with each other. But at least there's some kind of thing you're syncing up.
Yeah. Yeah, these ones definitely, like, it's... Plus, it's even just, what is that, an octagon? Or was it a pentagram? I can't remember. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, it's just like one simple tile shape that you can just repeat around. And then your whole thing is just the physics that you're trying to keep track of online.
Like, there is no level design in that. It's just like, make a big space, put some art around it, and it's like, that's the best level in it. It's like, it's why it doesn't really matter about level design, why I wouldn't really want to do level design in this game, because it's more about what you can actually get working online and coming up with ideas, and it's more about just the ideas, chuck out a bunch of ideas, that's the fun bit. Implementing them is not going to be fun. It's a bit too simple what you can do and what's actually good. Like it's like when I play like stuff like Modern Warfare or Vanguard or something, like the best maps are just the most basic ones. It's like shipment. It's just a corridor, like it's a crossing in the middle with the kind of corridors around the side, and then it's just you can just run around the edge, and there's a few little containers you can hide in and jump on.
Yeah, for sure. Even the shooters, like back in the day, like Quake 3 and shit, like those maps were pretty damn simple, geometry and layout wise, but they were so fluid and tight and just well laid out, and it was simple textures, simple geometry, shit loaded fast, played fast. What more do you need,
Yeah, I think it's why there's not a lot of maps you can actually do. They all end up just being reskins of similar layouts. Like every single Call of Duty, they always release a bunch of maps and they go, oh, these are okay, and then they release something like Nuketown or Shipment or it's like the Rust one, and the common maps that they always release again and again, and they just have reskins. It's like,
Yeah, for sure.
I played this like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's never changing.
People have to notice that. I'm sure some people do, but probably some players are just like, whatever, who cares, as long as it plays and feels alright. But if they're charging you for it, it's like, what are you guys doing, you know? This one can usually go pretty alright.
Oh shit, I fell down already. Oh shit, I didn't know there was a jump there. The depth perception's a bit shit on a lot of jumps. The camera doesn't really... need to angle it down a bit more to see where I'm going.
Yeah. A couple times I've been able to run totally across the top there, but not today. Jesus. Here we go. There you are. Damn, you got ahead of me.
If we jump at the end of these.
Hey, we made it. I'm glad it says Fall Guys at the end there. Otherwise, I wouldn't know what game we were playing.
I think I stuck fertilizer in the back garden 3 weeks in a row.
Nice.
I think you're supposed to only do it like every 8 weeks or something. Right? And then, maybe stick some more.
Yeah.
As long as you water it, I think it's okay. It doesn't, you can kill it if you obviously put too much on
yeah.
you don't water it.
Shit, I don't know. I've had a few cactuses over time, and even those don't last, and those are supposed to last in, any environment, you know?
Oh, yeah. I've got, indoor ones, but you have to, you're supposed to not overwater them, but then it gets hot, and then they start drying up, so you have to do it, twice a week, and it's, quite hard to know.
Yeah, whether you're doing too much or too little.
Yeah, and they get the same response if you get too much or too little. It's like, what?
Yeah. That's what it's
I think
saying.
you need, a water probe thing. Check to see if the soil's moist.
Yeah. That's pro level, gardening and stuff.
Yeah. I think that's the only thing, if it's, always wet, it's, bad, so...
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to matter with grass, though. You can just water it every day, and it's kind of... seems okay.
Yeah. They sent some maintenance people to try and figure out how to turn the sprinklers on. I ain't telling them. I don't give a shit, you know. But that's just because they won't fix nothing here. But the neighbor lady, she's the one that got him to come out because she's, real particular about wanting the grass on. But I was like, nah, I ain't telling him. And when she was talking to me about it, I was like, I don't care if this place turns into a desert out here, you know? It's not my problem. Get up. But when you got a house, it's a different thing, you know? You want to take care of it and have it looking nice.
Yeah, if it dies, I think grass obviously doesn't recover. If it dies, you have to put more seeds down.
Yeah, for sure.
So if it's oh shit.
I can almost never... damn it. Can almost never get past that part up top there.
Fan kept on hitting me. I'm going in the middle. I don't get the middle bit, but...
Get up.
Oh, there you go. It just hit me.
Nope. Whoa. Stop. What am I doing? I never do this bad here. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Get up. dtoliet must have nailed it. You guys got it fast, and we still got first, even though I screwed up that much. dtoliet must have been 100% first place.
I know it's about a week ago. It's like 31 degrees here. It's quite hot.
Shit, it's been hot as fuck. Right? I was just checking my friends thing real quick to see who was on. But yeah, shit, it's been hot as fuck here, man. It's kind of cool today, at least, you know. But that's
Yeah,
why.
it's been raining a bit. I think it goes hot and then it gets some rain afterwards and cool down.
Yeah,
I'm trying to work at home. It's like I spent I had to take a day off and I was just standing at the front door of it.
yeah.
It's just too hot to even be inside, and you go outside and you get burnt in the sun. So
Yeah, exactly. Same here, man. You know, sometimes it's nice to get that sunburn though. Get it over with for the summer. Get your vitamin D, and then start getting
die.
brown. Yeah, die. Just die for the summer.
Oh, something's getting pushed.
Yeah, it's been hot as shit here for the summer, man. Like it's way too crazy.
Oh.
But it's cool enough to have the fans off today. This one's pretty easy.
Oh shit.
Man, I don't think I've seen this like pattern on here before. This one's different. There's one level they got where you're standing on like a seesawing platform, and it's launching different things at you out of a cannon. But like that level's definitely got to be spiced up. No, I'm gone. I've never gotten eliminated on this one.
Oh shit.
Hey, what up, Danny? You got some multiplayer going on here. Hop in if you wanna. If you ain't too busy
I'm
drinks.
down. Yeah.
I told you dtoliet. Dtoliet comes in clutch, man. Like, you just be getting crowns all day with dtoliet. Yeah, right on you. Four squads. Alright. So we should have this round and then one more round.
Still haven't seen any good PS5 games yet. That PS5, so it's still 2 years old now, and it doesn't even. I haven't played any PS5 games other than a few.
Yeah, the only thing I've really played was Demon Souls, Astro's Playroom, and the PS5 version of Sackboy.
I had Demon Souls when it came out. I don't really like those games though. I find them a bit. I guess it's just too focused on combat without like the puzzle and exploration aspect of most games. And yeah, I kind of like it when they mix it up a bit more in games. I'm not really a fan of just pure combat games.
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that just because I was already a big fan of Demon Souls and the Souls games in general. So then that said, I was like, yeah, I gotta get a PS5, you know.
I preferred stuff like Spider-Man and Miles Morales because they had well, that's got combat in it, but it's quite satisfying. And then they mix it up with kind of other aspects of story and stuff, and it's just a bit.
Yeah. I still got
combat's actually pretty well done.
I love
the way it goes from cinematic moments, and it puts a cinematic moment like in a quite nice dynamic way that actually feels. Oh shit! It feels quite cleverly done, like the way it uses the environment.
Oh shit! We're totally eliminated. Not even dtoliet survived. Let's see if we somehow squeak through. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure we're all dead.
Astro's Playroom. I like Astro's Playroom as a concept for the dual sense, all the features on it, and then straight after I finished it, I just turned it all off anyway. I thought, yeah, that was nice as a gimmick. And it's like, I don't actually want to use it in the game.
The only other game I played that really put any use to it was Returnal.
Oh yeah, yeah. I didn't like Returnal though. I kind of found it a bit. I guess it's just like it just feels quite a cheap game because it just feels like a bunch of room modules that are randomly generated, which is pretty much what it is.
I need to go back to it and like finish it. I only got to level 2 and didn't get far in it. Like I love that developer Housemarque. Like their last game, Nex Machina, is like one of my favorite games of all time. But that one, it just came out at a bad time, and I didn't get to put in as much time into it, even though it was hyped for it.
I think I just maybe if I don't know. I think it's no story to it or anything. Like it's just pure combat again, where it'd be quite fun just to feel like there's a bit more to it and more of a reason other than just killing things to get through. I kind of like the kind of world building thing where you feel like you're in a world and you want to see what's going to happen next, kind of thing. I think that kind of pushes you through even moments where the gameplay gets a bit boring. And then they add fun gameplay bits that come up, but
yeah, you need to get a little balance. Demon Souls does have that though. If you ever get into it, it's just hard to get past the constant repetition of combat if you're not feeling it, because if you die a lot, then you just keep repeating the combat sections,
I'm not a fan of games where you just die and you have to repeat sections again and again. Like I liked Arcane, like Dishonored's one of probably Dishonored 2 is like one of my favourite games, and then it goes to Deathloop, and I still haven't bothered to finish it. I played it, I have to get back to it, but I just got annoyed in doing it's purposely repetitive, like the learning about the day, but then that idea gets a bit boring. Like they've done it in what's it called, Majora's Mask, a bit nicer, I think. There's a bit less repetition. Yeah, that's just you didn't have to try to figure out as much.
Yeah, I still never played any of their games. I know I'd love Dishonored if I just sat down and played it, because I fucking love stealth games, man.
Yeah, Dishonored's pretty much, if you liked Half-Life 2, it's like, I think it's like probably a better version of that. Like it's got, even the first Dishonored had the same art director, so the actual walking enemies were like oh shit, I completely fell. They were like the tripod things in Half-Life.
I'll probably give Deathloop a try once it hits Game Pass or something,
Yeah, it's really good, well-made like story. It's like more of a, it's not pure combat, but the combat is actually really satisfying because it's got like the stuff they do in like God of War where they have bespoke combat moments where you go up to someone and you can just jam the knife in their throat, and it's got a little bit of a charge so you can like charge up and stab them, and you got a gun but it's not a ranged weapon. It's a kind of, you blast them at a close distance, and it's quite limited on kind of ammo, so it's more like just blast them out the way and stuff like that. And you have darts and stuff for long range, but they're quite limited in ammo again, so you don't. It doesn't become a shitty shooter like Call of Duty where it's just boring to play in single player.
Yeah. I've always heard the single player is pretty not great for Call of Duty games. I've never played any of their campaigns except for like early Xbox ones with my cousin in co-op or something,
I played the first Black Ops one and one of the I think it's like Modern Warfare 2, I think. And they're quite good if you've never played one. It's quite like, it feels like a cinematic moment, but the actual gameplay, like even though the controls are like the best in like a responsive FPS type game, it's just the actual gameplay is just a bunch of waves and bots coming out pretty much. It just doesn't feel fun.
Yeah.
And if you die, because it gets so repetitive, if you die it just feels annoying to have to redo it again, so.
Yeah. Did you ever play Doom Eternal? Or Doom 2016 or anything?
I played the demo of it, I think.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that game is crazy, man. I have trouble replaying it. Like when I go back to replay it, I feel like which is rare for a game that I really enjoyed, where I never feel like I need to replay it. But I'm telling you, man, that first time I played through it, I was like, this game is fucking crazy. Just like every combat scenario, all the controls, everything just feels like 100% on point. I know there were some things people didn't like about it, like some of the platforming and the Marauder enemy and stuff, but I love the Marauder enemy, man. But that is one of those games that a lot of people praise, and I'm like, yeah, I can see why people praise this,
good they actually mix it up with platforming. Like Call of Duty tries to do some stuff like that, but it's like it's more bespoke moments and it's like completely pointless and
Right, right. Yeah, just for
why
show.
it doesn't really work. Just navigating the environment just breaks it up a bit. And
Yeah. I guess that's
these
why.
ones change your facing. What are we doing?
Banana, watermelon. I mean, not banana, cherry, watermelon, cherry, and watermelon. And then there's like a screen up there that tells you what tile to be on. Cherry, watermelon. Shit, I'm getting knocked around. Okay, I'm going where dtoliet is.
Oh, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, this one,
No
this one
idea.
takes a long time to learn, man. Okay,
Where's the screen that actually tells you what's going on?
up on the sides there. They're like big.
Oh, I didn't even notice those.
Okay, banana,
I was
watermelon.
looking down. I thought it'd be actually in the UI or something.
Banana, watermelon. Oh shit, here we go. Banana, banana. No!
I think these ones are probably the worst.
Yeah, I think so too. They're pretty tough. Okay, grape. Cherry. Hey, what's up, Cheeky? Apple. Okay. Apple, grape, orange, banana. Watermelon. There's too many symbols, man. Okay, I'm already on the apple, thankfully. No. No! Damn it, I got knocked off.
Yeah, we did it. Did you see The Boys at all? New TV series.
I gotta watch the new episode today. I think it might be out. But yeah, I've been watching that show. I like that show, man.
Yeah, I think it's quite good. It's like I think it's like one of the ones where it's only good because Homelander's in it. Like if they didn't have Homelander, it wouldn't really work at all. It would just be kind of you need like that one. It's sort of like the one. It's
Yeah.
like the kind of interesting character that kind of
Yeah,
gives
for sure.
everyone a purpose.
Yeah, exactly. He ties the whole thing together.
This kind of crazy character that you don't know what's going to happen, and he can just kill everyone at one moment.
I don't know. Are you up to the current seasons and stuff? Like the current season 3?
Yeah, it's watching the episodes
Yeah.
go on. Like, they got like the new ones. Was it Soldier Boy and
Yeah, yeah. I'm digging I like season 3 the most so far. I think I like season 1 the most, but
yeah,
season
yeah.
3's like kind of hooking me, you know. And his performance,
Hey,
like that
it's
dude's
quite-
performance as Homelander is really good in this season.
Yeah, he's got quite kind of like unstable, but then he's like super powerful and he just kill everyone. And it's like I just want him to kill everyone. It's
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Hurry up and get it over with. Just kill them
Yeah,
all.
the most interesting bit is when he actually, all shit goes crazy and he just.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what I kind of like. It's a bit less predictable. Like he just kills like people randomly quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a great character. I like that kind of stuff, man. I do like comics and stuff. Been a while since I've gotten to read many of them, so I appreciate that. This kind of subversion of like comic book archetypes and things, especially if you're like burnt out on like Marvel movies. It's pretty enjoyable.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the Boys is way better than any Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's pretty good. If you've ever watched any kind of superhero stuff, like it takes the piss out of it for sure.
It's like quite funny the scenarios they come up with in this one.
The original writer, Grant Morrison, he's I forget if he's from the UK or if he's from England or if he's from Scotland. I can't remember.
Oh shit, I'm out.
Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, me too.
I think the worst TV series were, Marvel tried to make a bunch of things like, what was it like? I can't even remember the names of them. A bunch of characters that I never even cared about.
That could be anything, man. I'm so behind on Marvel stuff.
Like, what's it called? Daredevil was one of them, and then
yeah, they had like Punisher, Jessica
Punisher,
Jones,
and
Iron Fist, and Luke Cage.
They're all just pretty shitty. None of them were really good at all.
Daredevil had some good fight scenes, And
Yeah, Daredevil was probably the best one out of all of them in terms of being interesting, but it still wasn't. It was nowhere near it. Like the boys is just a million times better than that. Like that feels like
they got
you
that.
know, the boys is better than any like TV series. Oh, they got bombs in here. That's what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Spawn Survival. This is Heads Up. Remember Heads Up?
How'd you grab it?
R2.
Heads Up is way better in this though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Heads
Heads
Up
Up
is.
is.
Like...
I haven't seen a more fair game as good as that.
No, for sure.
How'd you grab them?
R2.
Oh,
Oh, I died. I never died that early on this one. Sorry, dtoliet. You're like carrying the hell out of us.
How did I don't get what makes the floor disappear. Oh, it shakes a bit.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Just
Oh,
randomly.
these randomly. Oh, that's
Over time.
not good.
It'd be nice if it was the explosion like started cracking the tiles or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, better if it looked like it like cracked apart and then little bits would fall off and then it would kind of. I don't know. You can make it shake if you wanted to, but
That could definitely be something you put into like. It would have to be just this mode. You know what I mean?
yeah.
For like a full game.
It just doesn't read when it's gonna fall very well. You guys just change your color.
Switch over to D.
I made this game in 2015.
Yeah, you did make this in 2015. Ah, dtoliet died too. This guy's still alive though. Mars Rocks. I used to know someone named Mad Mars Rocks. On LBP, but they changed their name to something else. Alright, come on, Mars
People
Rocks.
change their names. Yeah, I hear you.
I know, you and me are still 100% the same. Steve and Ninja. Oh shit. Alright.
Oh, the place to become.
My bad. It's just being right back. Alright. Yeah, you level up a lot faster getting the crowns and stuff. Start unlocking things. I still ain't got nothing worth wearing except for this fanny pack. Alright, D. Yeah, D's like, what the hell? That's how it is for me, too, D. Especially when I'm playing, like, solo and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, Fall Guys is great, and then you lose, and you don't get a crown, and you're like, this sucks.
You should have like in the lobby thing here, just a space you can just run around or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be nice. That's what I was saying too, like with the slap stuff. If like when you cross the finish line and you're waiting for other players instead of spectating, if you could just hang out and like start slapping each other and throwing each other around and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like a finish area. It's like in here, it's just like you do it in like most games now, where you have a lobby area and just do something there. It's just it's never fun to just be fixed to a screen watching loading.
Yeah. It's crazy how much this game took off though. Like it had to be PS Plus that helped it, you know, like for just getting it in everybody's hands.
Yeah, I think any game where you have a lot of players, it's quite easy to make it.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
there wasn't really many people doing it, and then everyone just does a lot of single player stuff or shooters and stuff.
Yeah. I was thinking about that the other day when I started playing this again. I was like, just the way part of it, I guess, is like stepping up to the plate. Like when you start taking off, it's like, okay, we got something here. We got to start hiring people. We got to start getting people on board and just making it happen. Start giving people content, getting the servers working, everything, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas like some games they might take off on PS Plus, but then those developers don't do the stuff that makes it really turn into a phenomenon.
Yeah, Rocket League. Done for a while as well.
Yeah,
Quite a
Rocket
simple
League's
game. It's all pretty much the same, like Rocket League. Hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
You're back playing. Yeah, it's the same game from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Even though you have new levels and stuff, it didn't really add much.
I only played Rocket League a couple times. I'm sure I'd like it. I just wasn't that great at it. But that was the same thing. Like you got to play with people you know, and then you start getting really hooked on it.
Yeah. Well, that game doesn't really work with a lot of players. It just feels quite boring with a lot of players, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like chase the ball game.
Yeah. They do have
a one-on-one.
They do have a little soccer. Every now and then it comes up as like some kind of soccer mode and a volleyball mode thing that pops up in here. One of the maps that we end up on. The soccer one's pretty fun. Usually pretty easy to manage.
I still haven't played the Sackboy Adventure game. I had the code.
Oh, you still haven't played it?
I played it when it was in beta, I think, and most of the levels ended up looking similar.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really be bothered to.
Yeah.
I'm not really into those games much. It's like the Mario 3D Land ones I didn't like. I liked the Bowser's Fury one was better when you've got 3D control, but I find like it's a 3D platformer without camera control. It's kind of, you have all the negatives of 2D and then none of the benefits of the, you know, the depth perception of the 2D is kind of lost, and you kind of have none of the positives. You're just limiting what you can do for no reason other than having fixed camera.
That is kind of sound reasoning, you know. But hey, like, you know, stylistic choices, like they do end up having some value, you know. But I feel you, man. Like, plus you play a lot of like Mario games from Nintendo. It's been so long since I played like a Nintendo platform that I'm just not as spoiled like that. So when I played it, I was like, hey, cool, I finally got a Mario-like platformer that I can enjoy, you know.
I think the Mario 3D World is the worst 3D Mario game.
Oh yeah.
Even the old crappy ones are better just because you can actually 3D move in a level. And it's not just A to B level design, it's just quite boring, kind of.
Yeah.
I like the more, well, the Galaxy ones are quite good.
Yeah, I've missed everything since 64, really.
Yeah, Galaxy's kind of a linear game without, it doesn't really give you camera control, but there's more freedom of the movement in it, and it's just, the level design's a million times better, and because you don't really, even though it doesn't have camera control, it rotates around everywhere, so
yeah,
the motifs that you actually use is more interesting and more compelling level design.
Yeah, you can definitely like get more realized with the world design and stuff, you know.
Yeah, it rotates around serious most of the time.
The 3D land kind of style is more like a little diorama and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which I did, and I remember when we were talking about Sackboy's Adventure, like when the PS5s came out, you know, you were telling me like you didn't like it, and I was like, yeah, I don't like it either. But after I got past like the first first few levels, I was like, you know what, this is starting to pick up, and it was actually a pretty good time, you know.
Yeah, I kind of was hoping they actually just gone made it a proper adventure game. Not, it's kind of whatever was. I guess it just felt quite cheap. I guess it's like it's just a copy of Mario 3D
Yeah.
World, where they didn't do. They copied even the move set was ripped off. You know, it's got the roll from Mario. It's got all the moves like the flutter jump and you know from the Tanuki suit, and it's just a one-to-one rip-off. There's nothing it does that wasn't done in Mario, and it was done better in Mario. So and a lot of the levels are kind of similar ideas, like the toggles and you know the toggle platforms, and
That's kind of funny too, because I remember when LBP was around, like that was like the chief complaint was like people just calling it floaty and like comparing it to Mario and stuff. So then we got that one that just like went full Mario.
Yeah, I think it lost any unique aspect of it, and like, all the grabbing became kind of pointless. It didn't, like, none of the grabbing felt good in it because it didn't have any of the momentum, or you know, it wasn't really used in any of the ways it was actually fun in the previous games. So.
This is the level I was talking about, where I'm like, they really got to spice this one up because you can kind of just stand here, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I'm out.
Whoa.
Yeah. I wanted to see like a proper single player Sackboy game where it's like, you know, it's got aspects of create and gameplay more like.
Yeah.
I guess we actually. Yeah, we
they did that in 3 with the Poppet puzzles, remember?
Oh yeah.
Nobody.
I guess it's create and you know more like how you influence the world, or they did it in the Unravel game, which is kind of you know the create type of game where you're tethering strings and that type of thing where you're manipulating things in the world rather than you're not just creating things. You're kind of giving ways to destroy things in the world in interesting ways and dig through things. And
it's funny, like with that Unravel game, I was like, this is just fucking like fake Sackboy and shit, you know. And same for like Yoshi's Woolly World. I was like, you guys are just ripping off Sackboy, you know what I mean? Even though that game plays different, but that was one of those. Unravel was one of those EA originals, man. And I've noticed like EA does that a lot. They put out these like pseudo indie games that are just like rip-offs of other indie games. Like they've got that one where you like sail around in like a submerged city, and it was just a total rip-off of like some other indie game, an actual indie game that had the same concept, but that indie game never got as much attention or exposure because it didn't have EA's backing, you know. And then now I've seen like 5 or 6 games like that all had that same submerged city concept, you know.
I remember the Unravel 2 was, because of the second one, it all become about multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like, there's 2 of them and you had to solve puzzles. It was pretty, I think the second one was pretty good, but they did the same. I don't know if you ever play Little Nightmares 2. That had the idea of single player, multiplayer, where you had a...
Yeah.
I didn't buy that one though, I bought the first one.
I played the first one.
I played the demo of the second one, but then that kind of put me off buying it because it felt kind of retreading the ground again. But then the multiplayer aspect seemed a bit annoying for some reason.
Yeah, I still haven't picked up the
pretty
second
good.
one. I keep seeing it on sale. But I still played Little Nightmares 1 and really enjoyed it. And I give them props for making a good game. And eventually I'll pick up Little Nightmares 2 when it's cheap enough.
Yeah, I still got to play it. I just never like those single player, multiplayer things. I hated it when they did it to Resident Evil 0 and
Like
I kind of just prefer keep the puzzles like single player unless you have I did some fun aspects in Inside where they had multiplayer and single player, and but it's like moments of it rather than the whole game.
Inside is fantastic, man. That's like one of the best games of the last 10 years.
Yeah,
Like they executed
like,
it almost perfect.
it's much better in like Limbo and stuff.
Yeah. Limbo was really just like a cinematic puzzle platformer, like the Air Chahi kind of game, you know? Hey, at least we're in third place. And we qualified. But yeah, I'll pick up Little Nightmares 2 eventually. I did really like the first one. But yeah, it's funny, man, like, because me and RTM, like, used to argue about whether wireless or wired logic was superior, you know, in LBP. And I knew that wireless logic had, like, latency in it, but it was just, when you were working with, like, tons and tons of microchips, it was just easier to compartmentalize in your mind, like, using wireless logic, you know, to have, like, chips totally separated, you know?
I think you have to use... normally you have to use wireless in some conditions anyway, because if you have a bunch of wires and they loop back into like an AND condition, it creates a loop anyway, and then you get uncontrolled latency where you don't know where it is in the wire. It happens in dreams as well.
Yeah, sometimes you want latency.
Yeah, but then you control where you put it. So you break the loop pretty much by having a wireless thing. So the wire, even though, you know, all the wires, when even some things like keyframes are wired, and it creates like loops, and you find out stuff breaks randomly later on because you got the latency, or you make a bunch of combat animations and stuff, and if all the combat states you got a really complicated thing, you can get latency. So they're all conditions. When you're doing this condition, disable the other condition, or make a state machine.
Right, exactly.
A lot of people end up just using, straight from the start, making a state machine with wireless logic. Even though you have a frame of latency, you have it anyway. And normally I just put the latency on the thing that gets disabled. So the thing getting turned off has the latency, and not the thing getting turned on, so you have a slight...
Yeah, exactly. There's a time and place for everything, you know. Nowadays, I mostly do stuff, but that's because I'm not doing like large-scale projects. Most of the time, I'm just doing like quick prototypes with wired stuff, you know. But if I was really going to sit down with something, I'd probably build out a whole wireless system again as a foundation for everything, you know.
Yeah,
but other people have already done that in Dreams now. Like a lot of people have like those wireless systems now.
Yeah, it's just annoying you have latency on your controls. I normally do it where it's not in the controls, but
as long as you're not feeling it as a player, like it has no drawbacks whatsoever.
It's just quite like if you're doing anything complicated, a load of abilities. Like if you have a look at the adventure character I made, you know, the one that does the ledge grabbing and stuff. All the things that get disabled on it are just keyframes, but I have like a wireless gadget that goes into the keyframe, so I power I think like the tag or something, and then because anything can keyframe the tag, I make a kind of state machine that way without any latency and input at all.
Yeah.
The latency's on the thing that gets disabled, but it doesn't affect your input latency. Of your actions are as fast as they can be, but it's just massively painful and expensive to do it.
Yeah, that was one thing I just tried it real quick before I left that comment and stuff, but I was like, this feels exactly right, you know, like just right away, just to feel snappy and responsive, you know, one-to-one movement and control response, you know, and that does kind of get rid of the whole thing, like when you think about like, oh, I want to build this and I want to build that, it's just like, this is exactly what it just already works the way I want it to, you know, so it makes it a lot easier to just start planning and focusing on things like level design and abilities that you want to add to it or build on top of it, you know?
Yeah, it's always painful to add anything to a character. It's because you have to disable everything and then everything else works.
Yep. That's the only thing I was thinking. I was like, whoever adds onto this, like whatever they use it for, they've got to make their stuff as like quick and responsive as well, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
they don't have to, but they should, you know. This is the Rocket League mode I was talking about.
I only go for the one that no one's going for.
We're going for yellow.
Oh shit! Are we supposed to be going for yellow? Hitting in the yellow one?
Yep.
Oh, I've been doing the opposite direction.
Yeah. Watch out, Steve. There we go.
That's really why everyone on my team's pretty. What the fuck's he doing? Hitting the wrong way. I noticed the yellow guy was pushing it the other way, and I went, "What's he doing?" Yeah, oh, maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Yes, got the football in there. We won.
We
I think we
won.
got a crown.
This game needs like a run button or something with stamina.
Yeah, running be pretty nice.
Like
Honestly,
a little
we just
boost of
need a game like this.
cooldown. I think it gets a bit annoying. Like you should just like, probably simplicity. You may as well just make it a button because there's a way it works, and you just have like a cooldown on it. So maybe if you have a cooldown and you can use it, and if you overuse it, you just end up walking slower or something. I'm not sure if that'd be annoying, or you could just cool down and just lose it for a bit. Obviously, when you overheat something, you completely lose it.
Yeah.
And you get punished for it a bit longer, and at least then it just feel more satisfying to move around.
I kind of like it most when I don't like when stuff like starts screwing you up if you've exhausted your stamina meter. Just make it recharge. You know what I mean? It just depends really on the game, really what it is. But anyway, Steve, man, like we got a crown, and I had a short little stream.
Yeah.
I'll play with you again, man. Thanks for hopping in with me, man. I appreciate it.
You did it.
Yeah, we got one. All right, man. I'm gonna hop off, and thanks for playing with me, though, man. Like,
Oh yeah,
Glad you
it
came
seems to
through.
be fun. Yeah, get some work done though. I was trying to get
sure.
work done yesterday, and like I got stuck on trying to make something to work for like 3 days.
yeah, for sure. I wish you could tell me like anything about like what you guys got going on, man. Like, I'd love to know what the hell's going on with the thing with Roroni Dan. Or is that does that count as work stuff?
No, that's just making the horror kind of game. Right? He's been like busy doing other stuff, so we haven't done really anything this year.
Yeah.
I've been moving house until like most of the start of the year for a few months. And
You
I
guys
have to
are
get back on that. I have to make like I got like the basics working okay. It's probably the best FPS that actually feels good in Dreams. It hasn't got like a massive amount of features in it. It's just like really simplistic shotgun, handgun, and something you hit stuff with, and then it's more Dishonored style. So and it's more about making clever use of it, and then you can do like ledge, the ledge grab, climbing up stuff, and
yeah.
you can pick stuff up like boxes and stuff, and then it's like we're making a bunch of abilities that, because it's like these weird creatures that have blood, and they experiment, and then they use it to like power the whole facility, and it's like giant octopus or something, and it's like,
Yeah.
then they also use it like Bioshock style for abilities, and the abilities run kind of in the level. Initially you don't have them, then you get the ability to like inject them or whatever and use it
Yeah.
rather than having it based on the environment. It's based on you just being able to access them and turn them on,
Yeah.
and then you can combine it with the environment ones and stuff. And
I know the shit we were joking about. I ain't gonna talk about it on here, but I remember the shit we were joking about. That would have been a funny concept. But like, I like the stuff you showed me on it. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, definitely put that out. And I dig what you're saying about keeping it simple. Like, there's a community creator called, or a community shooter project called Dead Zone Aberration, which is like the sequel to Dead Zone. And the stuff they got going on is really cool. But a lot of the mechanics and stuff, like, there's just so much like technological complexity that it's really slowed down development on the project, like focusing on level design and world design, and I like that you guys are just giving us like the Half-Life 2 kind of shooter, you know what I mean, where it's not trying to show off too much.
Yeah, it's like you could have had like 10 different weapons, and I didn't even bother with like stuff like grenades. It doesn't really add much, and like, you got kind of only one enemy at the moment that's simplistic, but it's got two. It's got a variation on it, but that's like it's not really even the shooting's not really about like being a shooter. It's more kind of a bit like you have moments where there's like you're gonna get turrets and stuff, and then there's these little enemies that come down. They're quite fun to kill. Like, they leave blood trails and splats on the wall and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
they have quite a cool attack where they just jump at you. It's pretty much head crab style.
Yeah.
That's the kind of simplistic thing in it.
That little
But,
pig-looking thing with the octopus
yeah,
tentacles, that
and you
thing's
can
pretty
like,
funny looking.
and it's got the same stuff. You can kill it, pick it up, chuck it around, shotgun it, it blows up into chunks, and the bits kind of disintegrate. When you look off screen, so it's all like nothing just disappears, it shrinks in a weird way, and
Yeah.
everything. It's got like a little backpack on one version where it's like they're kind of draining the blood out, so then that kind of explodes, and then you can use it as a bomb, and that's all quite fun things. And it's more like sandboxy
Right.
gameplay where you get the ability. You want like low gravity where you can pick stuff up and throw it. Depending
Nice.
on how much it weighs, it will like throw you in opposite directions, so you can
Hell
do
yeah.
fun navigation stuff like that. And
Yeah, like emergent gameplay, like physics interactions and system interactions and stuff. I like that kind of stuff.
yeah, stuff like that where you have fun playing with things, and
Yeah.
that's why we wanted like the enemies to be like, rather than having a lot of them, we kind of just went, oh, you have ragdolls, and then the ragdolls like super polished where you can pick it up, chuck it around, and it just splats against the walls, and
That
it
little
feels a bit like Jello the way it splats.
that little robot, it was like some kind of trash receptacle robot or something, like just throwing
Oh
stuff
yeah,
into
it's
that.
in
That
the
thing was pretty
tutorial.
funny.
It's like,
Yeah, that thing you
yeah,
sent me.
it's just
I like that
fun
thing.
things you play with, and it chucks out like a little bit of trash. It's like a basketball, and then you can chuck it in, and it's just to teach you the grabbing mechanic, but it's just done in a fun kind of sandboxy way where it's not like, oh, here's the grabby thing. It's like, they did it in Half-Life 2 where it's like they had a bunch of trash on the ground. They go, oh, put the trash in the basket. It's kind of similar to that idea,
Yeah.
but in a more fun way.
Yeah. Yeah, that is iconic, that opening part of Half-Life 2 where you pick up that soda can for the first time and he tells you throw the can away or put the can down. I can't remember exactly what he says, but you can throw the can at him and he starts attacking you.
It's quite good the way they introduced a tutorial in a way that actually gave you the they kind of have trying to have authority over you, and already they're kind of pissing you off and telling you what to do, but then it's like even though they could trying to make it not feel like a tutorial at the start.
Yeah, that is pretty clever actually. And what you just said there, like about them having authority over you, like that makes you as a player, you're like, I want to take these people on because they're trying to tell me what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you kind of feel like, oh, they're just trying to control you at the start, and
Yeah,
it gives you like you got straight into the story right from the beginning. It's like it's kind of world building. And you even have the bit where you feel like the secretive bit where you go in the room and stuff, and then they take, it's like one of the guys and he takes his mask off, and it's all kind of a tutorial, but it takes you into the world straight away, and kind of that's why it really works pretty well.
yeah. How much do you guys think you got? Because I know you said you were like moving and everything and getting into the house. Like, how far away do you guys think that is? Like next year or something?
I don't know. Yeah, to find time to actually work on it. Getting just making the tutorial level, it's like a fun bit of world building, and just get that working well.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Got ideas for like the first few bits of levels, like the areas and stuff, and what goes on, and they got ideas and stuff planned, and how it actually progresses in the story and stuff. It's just like getting time. It'd be good if you can just make a full game in Dreams, like what they did with like all the other stuff. It's more compelling than stuff like Ancient Dangers and stuff, which is quite a standard game. It's like making something a bit more unique.
Yeah. I played Ancient Dangers. I did enjoy it. There were some things about like the way it controlled that I was like, I wish they did this and I wish they'd done that. But then I was like, you know what, they have, in order to make this like an asset kit that people can use, they have to keep it a little bit restrained,
It's the only issue trying to make it a kit where it's like kind of got some limitations on what you want to do with things.
Yeah, for sure, But hey, whatever. They're making content. You can't complain about it, and it's like getting like free DLC.
Yeah, any combat stuff's hard to do in Dreams as well, 'cause the animation costs.
Yeah,
Combat
yeah,
games are just insanely animation based, and it's only really fun because you have all the animations. You know, you have the enemy animations, you have animations that work together when you do an attack, and suddenly, it does a bespoke animation of a kill, where they all sync up, and the enemy syncs up with your animation, and you grab them, you stick your knife in their head, and you,
yeah,
that's the moments that feel really fun, like in Spider-Man and stuff, and they have moments like that, and
yeah, and doing all that kind of stuff like that adds up.
yeah,
That adds up.
cost of that, like you have one enemy and one character, and that's it. You're out of budget. So
I think the key is probably to do like what they. I mean, I know what we got is called keyframes, but what they call keyframing in like Street Fighter games, where it's just like a single snap to animation, like fill in the blanks, and your mind fills in the blanks of the animation, just snap, 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 and then only full animations where you really need them,
yeah, you need a really the whole animation style to be like that. They're like the walk and stuff, where if you have the procedural animation, the legs are kind of doing weird stuff and twisting and shuffling back at a slow rate. It's like
when you're trying to make that playable and stuff.
And,
yeah,
just disconnected. You have to keep it all consistent. And, as a
yeah.
style, and you have to make the walk animation just completely almost like just you walk and you just like stop and go into the pose quick of the idol. There's no like slow transition or anything.
That's the thing. Is like I think of Street Fighter when I think of it, but it's hard to think of any kind of 3D play, any kind of other genre where they use that kind of animation.
Things like Street Fighter, you have a walk animation and it's just boom into idle, and it's all quite snappy animation with no blending in.
Right. Yeah. But
every animation is like kind of. Well, every animation is like intentional. There's no weird in betweens or.
Yeah. That's the thing with Dreams, though. Like you got to just go like, okay, this is what I can do. Like this is what I've got to do. Like. Basically, like, but people do cool shit with it. Like, so fuck it.
It's like I've seen the Trips. What's it called? Trips Journey or something. I think it's called.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you about that while you were talking about Mario and shit. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's better in it's better in Crash Bandicoot games I've played or Astro Bot. And I think it's better in Sackboy's Adventure by quite a lot as well, because there's a proper. Well, they just made that's what Sackboy's Adventure should have been. It's a 3D open environment that you go in and you come out again, and you get objectives in it, and it's quite small, but you can spend half an hour in that teeny little area. And the actual gameplay is more compelling, like the motifs and what you're doing is pretty much all taken from Mario, Bowser's Fury, and Odyssey, but
it's
like pretty well done. Oh yeah, I've got to try that. It's just like snow level.
Yeah, forgot about it until we were talking about it now.
Yeah, the art's really well done, and the animation of everything, it's like super polished.
Yeah, you can't knock them for it. They did do a good job, So like I give them props for that, And they got a lot of personality on, a lot of polish, everything,
Yeah, it's like a platform game. Like it's not a lot of good platform games on. Consoles at all. Like, if you sold it, like I think it'd do better in like Astro Bot did. It sold a few million probably if you made a full game of that.
Probably like if it had Sony's backing behind it and promotion and stuff, people would
it'd
just
do
be
better
like,
in Dreams itself. Like it'd make a hell of a lot more money, and Dreams made just that one thing.
Dreams was up against it from the start, though, man. Like, because you know how, like, I don't want to get too into it, but like games journalists and stuff, like their whole routine is like, I don't understand this game. What even is it? What do you do? It doesn't make any sense. And they do that just for their audience, just to have something to talk about. Even though you just look at it, it's like, what's hard to understand? You just make your own fucking games. You play other people's games. Like, what's to understand? It's not confusing to me, anyway. But like that's what you guys were dealing with. Like that's what you were up against. So, but we got what we got on here. Like, it's always going to be a creative tool for creative people, and there's just not that many. There's just only so many creative people.
Yeah, at least it's getting more people. You get more compelling. It's something different. At least it's not like.
Yeah.
Another game, and you have like a, I don't know, some like, I don't know, a recent thing that some game that's like overly saturated already, and it's like you're just doing another version of something that exists already. And
Yeah. Yeah, there ain't nothing like Dreams, man. Like, really. I mean, we had LBP. You think of something like
yeah,
Newgrounds or something. Like, that's about it. That's really all there is. There's Mario Maker, but that's just level design. It ain't nothing like this,
yeah,
really.
there's nothing that allows you to make your own
Yeah.
ideas. Like,
And
LG was pretty much
yeah.
similar. And, you know, it's mostly level design. It wasn't too much game design. You'd have to hack it quite a bit.
Yeah, that's really like a lot of us. I mean, that's what most of the experienced creators were doing, was just trying to make it be something that it was never meant to be, you know. And then we ended up with Dreams, which was like, oh, okay, you guys want to do that? Here, do this, you know.
Yeah, well, at least it's like something different that's not available
Yeah,
anywhere else.
yeah, for sure.
And